Bit of a two-in-one video today. I wanted to do a test on something that came in today. I've been chasing one of these for a very long time. It's the CVS50J. Now you might say, why would you want such a small amplifier? And it's the usual reason. It's emotional. As you can see, they had a nice heat sink on the back, and you could switch between just your switching time, AM, FM to sideband, etc. And this came from a great mate of mine down in Melbourne, and look, really for its age, in good condition. Just one little slight mark there, which we've got stuff that can absolutely make that match up. You'll never see it, which is great. But you know, to get one of these amps, it was sort of the little brother of the KLB110, KLB240, etc. This was bought out for someone that just wanted to get, you know, 60, 70 watts or so. And we're going to be displaying it today on a 10 meter FM / sideband radio, and this is the Realistic Htx100, which this one's actually a spare one we want to actually get rid of as well. I've got one brand new in the box for our collection, so that's why this is a bit of a two-in-one video. We'll call it the Htx100 with the CVS50J, because you know they both are linked together at the moment. But what we're going to do in this test is just show you just how clean the signal is on the Htx100, but also how when you run the amplifier in, that you're not increasing, not taking up 20 kcs of space or anything silly. So okay, let's get moving. Right, first of all, let's just show you the the Htx100 without the CVS50J. So we'll just have a little bit of a look at our transmit signal. Hello, 1, 2, hello. So we've got 10 or 12 watts there, and that's not looking too bad. We'll just come down to the spec and just have a little bit of a look at the signal. 1, 2, hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so on that range, hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, we're well within our 2 kilohertz there. That's looking fine. What we're going to do is we're going to turn the amp on now without showing you the power. Let's just have a look at that spectrum analyzer again. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, we can see it's got larger, but it hasn't got wider. So that's not too bad. That's actually looking quite good. So how much power are we pushing? Let's have a look. Righto, now this is with the little CVS50J in sideband, and we're running 12 watts out of the Htx100. Hello, 1, 2. Okay, so we're getting about what it's meant to do, about 70 watts out of this little fella. How warm's it getting? Not even remotely, which is good. So let's switch this fella over to AM FM, and let's have a bit of a look at. Let me have a little check here, and that might be a bit hard because, of course, I'm thinking I'm on a HR2510. You've got a choice of sideband or CW on the Htx100. So let's switch that back to sideband. That'll be one of my little faux pas for this week. And let's just, unfortunately with CW, even if I go to CW, I've got to hook up a key to the back of it to signal that even the transmit switch here won't, it's got a 3.5mm that you can go into. So, so there's something that we should point out. The Htx100, whilst there is a mod to make it do lower sideband and upper sideband, this is purely a 28 meg radio where it's been set up to operate on both sideband and CW, and certainly to my knowledge, I'll just have a quick check of a couple of things, but I don't think this has been modified in any way. I just want to actually check that. Hang on. Okay, so the way to do that, just put yourself into we're going to step at 10 kilohertz. So what we're doing is we're running through and we're just checking what, you know, areas of the band it covers, and we should find that it stops at 28.000, and it does. All right, so basically this radio, we are right to put this onto an antenna. And you might say, well, why wouldn't have you have been? Well, let's say, it's been modified for CB. Then it gets a bit borderline as to whether or not, we can hook up an antenna. Certainly not under our scientific license, we can't. But this is purely a 10-meter radius, which is good. And we might just put a quick CQ out on 28490, and maybe even sideband will work better. And with the little amplifier, and we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so noise certainly comes up a bit straight away on the unit, and just have a bit of a look. VK3 Charlie Mike calling CQ on 10 meters. VK3 Charlie Mike calling CQ on 10 meters. VK3 CM listing 28490, and 28490 being the call frequency, which if there was to be any skip running, that's the frequency you want to be on. It can get quite active, actually. It really can. Something I didn't point out before, if you want to run QRP on these, you can actually back that power off by pulling that knob out. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, as you see, the power's way down there. Hello, just basically registering. And then we go back to full power. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And all good there. Hang on. VK3 Charlie Mike. Anybody listening on 28490? Not looking overly good. But this little 10, 11 meter amp, great to take a QRP rig and just give it a little bit of a hit. Look, I'll warn you, not probably something you want to take on to 20 or 40 meters or anything. The filtering is pretty limited to 10, 11 meters, but certainly on 10 meters here we're finding, look, it's working really well. So the Htx100, I suppose we should do just a slight sales pitch on that. Noise blanker, you do have a transmit on and off there. I'm just going to actually put it back onto dummy load just so we don't annoy anyone. One of the things we didn't test actually while I'm on the analyzer, and I'm interested to know, because do you remember we did a review on the Htx10 recently, and the Htx10 I battled with. I've only got one of them, and I had offers coming in everywhere to buy it. And look, I'm sorry, I probably annoyed one or two people, but I end up keeping it because it's so mint and because it's looking so good. I just thought, no, that one can stay in our collection. Look, thank you, the offers were very tempting, I can tell you, but yeah, that one can hang around. But we found with the Htx10, if you remember in the last Htx10 video, that the receive was astronomically good. So let's just see what happens when we go onto here. And we are at 0.1 of a microvolt, and I'm hearing that beautiful. Geez, I'll tell you what, hearing that really good. Have a listen to that, 0.1. 0.05, I'm still just hearing it. Oh boy. At 0.5 of a microvolt, I've got to turn that receiver, turn that off. That receiver is really lightning hot. So yeah, look, this has been pretty much my experience with any of the 10 meter realistic products. The receivers tend to be, transmitters are great, and keep in mind this has not been touched, so the power output of this can actually go up quite a lot higher. They came out standard around 10 to 12 watts, but they certainly had a lot more capability with the heat sinking and the output stage. So, just bear in mind that with a bit of a quick tune, you'll get 20 watts easily out of these things. In this case, we probably don't need 20 watts. I don't believe if we drove this amplifier with more power that we're going to really, accomplish a lot more out of that amp. So, that amplifier there's got a fairly low input ability on it. It was made for, I'll be honest, it was made for 10, 12 watt CBs, but obviously works, equally as well on 28 megs, and certainly just having a quick look at the spectrum analyzer, it looks fine. It's not too bad at all in the way that it generates a signal and not taking up too much band. There's a button here where you can go up 500 kcs, so just a bit quicker to get around the band, of course. You certainly could store memories in there, which I've hit the down button. That was clever. Let's try that again. Yeah, okay. Righto. Bloopers, eh? I think it's your holder for 2 seconds, and you've got a memory. Now let's just see if that's gone. Yep, that's gone into memory 1. Yep, got it. Okay, so that's all good. And if we turn that, you go back to VFO. Yep. Now, but if I go there, yep, it's memory 2, 3, and see, we've got nothing in there at the moment. But it should go back to memory 1. Yep. So you can put in a whole stack of memories into this unit without too much trouble. RF gain, volume scorch, receiver incremental tuning with the RIT. Pretty much what you'd expect. Comes with the original Realistic mic, which is great. So that's and it's also got its power cord with it as well. So yeah, it's I suppose, as I said, this is a bit of a dual purpose video where this one's not for sale. The CVS50J. Been chasing one for too long to sell one of those. I have probably 60 or 70 amplifiers of various different types and bits, and I collect them. There's really something special about some of the old age stuff. And I wouldn't be selling this radio except for Miles. VK2ASS sold me a Htx100 brand new in the box, and I sort of gave in. Actually sold me, we're going to do a review on an AR3500 Ranger. Now that is a beautiful radio. It's actually sitting up here in the box. That white box there is the Ranger box, and I've not had a chance to hook it up. I've had it here for months from Miles, and I have not had a chance to give it a run, so we'll give that a run soon. The Realistic Htx100, they don't sell for a lot of money, to be honest. Sort of where the Htx10 is megabucks. There was just a lot more Htx100s brought into Australia and sold locally here too, through Tandy's at the time. So this gave this model more of a ability to be seen in Australia. Alright, well that's just a bit of a quick look. The Htx100, yep, I'll at some stage put that up for sale. It's just not overwhelmingly urgent, but I just thought I'd mention in the video that apart from being very impressed with the testing of how they work, and they are a brilliant little radio, but we are definitely getting to the spot where we're out of room, so we've got to get rid of some of the doubles, triples, quadruples, and I've got 2 of my mates from Wodonga coming in the next couple of weeks, as long as COVID-19 allows us to, and we're doing a big resort of probably 2,000 radios. We are going to be busy. It's so much to get through. Then there's all the accessories, then there's and then we've bought 2 estates since then, so we've got to make some room. Anyway, we'll get there. It's certainly a lot of building work going on as well to get us with more room to put more radios. That's what I need in life right now, more radios. God, with everything else going on in life, I probably should be taking a break at the moment, but look, when I do get a couple of hours when I'm well enough to have a play, it's always good to take a break, and to be honest, it's good therapy for me to play with something I've been chasing for so long. A lot of people would say, what is the big deal about a 70-watt amplifier? I know, you've got to have the same level of insanity that I share to appreciate it, and I understand it's not for everybody, but anyway, thanks very much, guys. Once again, really thanks. Look, the emails of support, I really appreciate it. We are getting there. It's just a bit of a slow trail, and we're working with some deficits which are going to be there for probably maybe even the rest of my life, but that's the thing about life. You need to adjust and still accept that there's a lot of good things that are happening in it, and that's what we're trying to focus on. Thanks for your letters of support, and thanks very much for all your help. You know who you are. Some of you have really gone out of your way to help me, and names that come to mind are the Steves, the Scotties, Ron, AHR. People that just ring out of the blue to say, hey, I was thinking of you. Russell, VK2VK. There's people that care, and I've got to say, that's what I love about this hobby. The positiveness that come out of people who, just you would never expect to for them to even bother in their day. Most of these people have very busy days, and they take time out to ring to say, hey, how you going? Really appreciate that, guys. 73 is from VK3 Charlie Mike, JDW229. Hope you've enjoyed our little bit of a walk down memory lane, more so with the CVS50J. If you use a CVS50J, or you've had one before, certainly feel free to comment, and And look, on the off chance someone's interested in one of these HTX100s, certainly drop me a message. But I'll make that the subject of another an advert somewhere at some stage. I'm not wanting the YouTube channel to turn into a for sales channel. Okay, guys, 73s, all the best.